All right, Fort Knox Podcast. I'm going to talk about this pistol right here. This is the gun that everyone's talking about, and I'm going to continue to talk about it, and I'm going to go ahead and document the issues that I had with mine. I will roll the footage from yesterday to where you see within the first 40 rounds that I already had some failure to feeds, which were not caused by the magazine. They were caused by the extractor. So what is actually happening is when the slide comes forward, the ejector is too fucking strong, which means I probably need a stronger recoil spring to bring the slide forward to clear the lip on the casing. That's the issue that I was having. I was not having any type of magazine failures whatsoever. Both the factory Duramag magazines that came with it are fantastic. They work tits. The STI magazines that I have out of my DVCP are awesome. And then the MBX magazine that I have also works awesome. In the video, you can see I drop my mags. They go straight to dust. They get dusted. They get a little gritty. I don't have a failure to feed caused from magazines. Again, it's an extractor issue. Yesterday, when myself and Granger pulled this pistol apart, the one thing that we noticed was that all the tolerances when it comes to the barrel are extremely, extremely tight. I'm probably going to fuck that up and say that incorrectly. They're tight, right? So the lockup is really, 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 really solid. There's only machine marks in there. There are no hand filing marks, which is typically something that you're going to see when it comes to hand fitting, right, with higher end 2011s, 1911s. So this gun needs more rounds to break things in, to get things rolling. And one of the issues that I had, I don't know if exactly comes from the fact that I pulled it out of the box and shot it straight out of the box, but maybe it is because I was shooting in 110 degree weather. Any type of factory lube that was in here was liquefied and was all over the place. I pulled it apart probably about 40 rounds in, re-lubed the entire gun, got it back together, still was having the issue with the extractor not coming up over the casing. When I got back to my office and we took it apart, the thing that we noticed, like I said, was the hand filing. There was none of that. I was all machined. And the other thing was this thing's it's just stiff. It could very well be that it needs to be treated like a 1911, have a break-in period, shoot 500 rounds. I haven't broken anything, so I'm pretty stoked on that. And also, the downside, too, for me is that there's no optic plate that exists for a real optic, other than the dog shit Springfield version of what they make. So, as of right now, I'm not discounting this pistol at all. I think it's fantastic that Springfield Armory came to the market with a sub $2,000 full-size 2011. The grip module feels really good. The trigger is decent for what it is. I'm not going to complain about that. Full dust cover, that's awesome. The fact that they got Duramag to make the mags is really cool. And maybe a magwell eventually would be really cool for this thing. I'm not going to complain about that until I actually get the gun to function. Now, I see a lot of guys out there having other issues, and I see a lot of guys that seem to be new to the 2011 platform. Just remember, $1,800 isn't a lot of money when it comes to the 2011 platform. Yes, it's a lot of money for a pistol. There's dudes out there that spend the same amount of money on a fucking Glock. So just remember that this thing is inexpensive in that world, and it's going to need some tuning. So I'm not going to send this thing back to Springfield yet. I'm actually going to shoot some more through it and see if I can get it to fucking open up and get reliable by itself. And I'm going to continue to run different magazines through it, including the Duramags that came with it, and kind of go from there. Yep. It's hot as fuck. You can tell that I'm absolutely sweating my asshole off. And yes, I'm going to be doing a video on this little gemmer right here. Everyone already knows what it is. It is the Springfield Armory Prodigy. Marketed as, I'm not even going to read the fucking, the brochure. What I'm going to tell you is I am a 2011 shooter. I absolutely love 2011s. I've had a couple of them, including DVC-L and a DVC-P, which is my primary pistol, which I typically shoot. And I say primary, and typically, I mean that's the gun that I love shooting. I've got about 10,000 rounds through mine, and I've consistently been looking for a new 2011 to actually pick up that might replace the DVC-P, because I do want to kind of be nice to it, and I don't want to buy one at resale, and I don't want to buy a Staccato XC. So when I ran to Ventura, shout out to Ventura Munitions, they actually had the full size. This is the 5-inch. Yep, the 5-inch, the long one. They actually had one of these in stock. It did come with an optic plate. I don't have the good optic plate, so I'm stuck running one of those really shitty fucking Springfield dots, which I refuse to actually do. I did end up throwing a fucking X300 on here of Type B because it fits in my holster that I have for my 2011, my current 2011, which is the DVCP. Everyone has already talked about this, especially with these magazines. I'm going to do a quick rundown on these because that's a big issue, especially if you're new to 2011s. Magazines are always going to be an issue. I currently run factory STI magazines, and then I have some Checkmate magazines, and then now I have these Duramags. In the past, Duramag has traditionally made fantastic fucking magazines, so hoping that these things are the same as their AR mags, and I can abuse them. Obviously, I shoot out in the desert, so dirt, dust, little pebbles, that's always going to be an issue for me. Now, again, I bought this gun. I don't really have to explain shit about that. But when it comes down to it, you're going to see a couple of guys out there, they're talking about, you know, oh, this thing is fucking awesome, blah, 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 shooting at 100 yards. That's not a realistic scenario for 90% of fucking shooters, especially in the 2011 world when you got most guys that are willing to pay upwards of $6,000, $7,000 for an Atlas, or, you know, $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 for a Staccato. Let's be real. This gun is coming to the market. It's going to be for guys who spent $1,400, $1,500 on Glocks, and now all of a sudden they want a 2011 because the 2011 train is fucking hype. I'm a 2011 shooter. I shot Glocks. I bought a 2011. I got very lucky on how I got my DVCP, and here we are. So this gun actually doesn't even have an optic on it yet. I did order the optic plate from Springfield, which is being made by Agency. So let's hope that it doesn't completely fucking suck. I'm about to put about 500 rounds for this thing today, and I'll film my first initial shots, my groupings. Just a heads up, it's been an absolute fucking million years since I've actually shot iron sights, so I'm about to fumble this. So I'll be extremely excited if I even put a decent group down, and I'm probably going to shoot, I don't know, maybe 10 yards. I'll probably back it out a little bit more and just continue to shoot this way. So let's roll straight into it. Springfield Armory Prodigy. One thing I am going to say about this gun is that I took it out of the box. I didn't take it apart. I actually fucking didn't add any lube, and I wanted to shoot it straight out of the box. No lubrication, no fucking cleaning, because that's what I did with my DVCP. That's what I do with everything else I fucking shoot, because that's how I operate when I buy guns. Now, the thing about this gun is, I've seen a lot of videos, and I've only seen one dude lock theirs out already. I'm going to try and do the same, but not on purpose. I'm not going to drop it in the fucking dirt. I'm not going to kick it. I'm not going to fucking throw shit inside of it. I'm literally just going to put rounds through it. So I'm about 15 feet right now, and the first mag I'm going to put through this is going to be like 7 or 8 rounds through an STI magazine. Not even running. This is a dirty mag. I've shot this in competition. It's been thrown in the dirt. I dropped these mags. They're practice ammo. They're practice mags, right? So I'm going to run these first couple of rounds through this without even fucking putting brand new mags. Ooh, I don't have an optic to slap, which you saw. Ooh. That was the 17 round mag that came with it. That is the Duramag. Again, it is hot as shit out here. My camera's probably overheated and I'm talking at the camera. Don't even know that it's fucking dead. But here we go. This is the last magazine. This is gonna be 21 rounds or 20 rounds. Out of battery, if you saw that. Woo, another out of battery. Okay, it's gunked up a little bit, not that big of a deal. I'm gonna shoot a couple more rounds through it. And then actually, let me show you what I'm shooting at and the distance. First magazine, second magazine is gonna be this, and this is about 15 feet. So I'm actually gonna drag this out and make it about 20 yards just to make it a little bit more realistic. Again, I'm actually surprised I was able to get this fucking grouping here. So far, so good. Let's put another 100 rounds through it and see where we end up on. Let's see if we can get rid of this entire fucking box in here. But all the lube that does exist in this gun from the factory is absolutely everywhere. I'm gonna run another 3 full mags through this thing, trying to get another 100 rounds through it, and then talk about what's up on the target behind me, which is back there, and then I'll start shooting a little bit further. Again, I'm a terrible fucking iron sight shooter because I've had more time, more rounds on it with a dot than I ever had without one. So hopefully I'm not that bad, but we'll see. All right, I got another 4 magazines. 2 of them are STI magazines. The other 2 are the factory Springfield Duramags. This thing is getting hot. Let's see how it likes it. My camera's probably gonna fucking die. I'll have to switch batteries, but here we go. Also, I moved this to 10 yards, and I am attempting to shoot out the center of this shoot and see. Well, not going to be accurate. Okay, 20 rounds. Got to push the slide back in. I don't know if it's a lubrication issue because this thing is really, really wet. I'm going to add some more Lucas to it. We're just going to do that and see what's up. And also, this is the first time I've actually taken this apart to look at it. It's actually pretty clean for what it is. The slide is extremely fucking wet. If you have a girlfriend, you know what that's like. Also, another thing at hand is, I know a lot of guys are going to be asking, I shoot primarily 124 grain 9mm, and that's what I'm shooting on this. I don't change ammo for my guns. I stick to 124 because that is the round that I absolutely love with all of my compensated shit. So there you go. Oh, okay. I don't know if that made it any better, but here we go. Woo! Oh, come on. All right. So that's about another 40 rounds. Honestly, I would probably go ahead and say that if it wasn't so fucking disgustingly hot outside, I didn't keep dropping these mags in what is a complete dust bowl right here. I wipe this thing down, reapply fucking new lube that I normally run out here, which would be the Lucas, and then when it gets colder, I switch to Extreme. Don't know why, that's just kind of how it's worked out for me. But I'm gonna go ahead and say I want to come back and shoot when it's not as hot, and definitely shoot on some different targets, because typical me, I forgot half my shit when I came out here, like my iPro. I know someone's gonna fucking say it, and I also forgot my other fucking targets, hence why we're shooting at this shoot and see, which we used to 0 something last week. So as you can see, the types of failures and all the other issues that I had with this gun from the stuff that I shot. Keep in mind that not the most optimal time to shoot because it was middle of day, 110 degrees. I'm not even kidding. Like, it was ass hot. It was legitimately 110. So I don't know if that also brings in any issues for this pistol because it is a steel frame pistol, or steel slide, steel frame, right? I don't know if that's going to bring up any issues or cause any issues, but it was well lubricated and it was fairly accurate because, like I said in that video, I'm not the best iron sight pistol shooter. I could put some groups down at maybe fucking 10 feet, 15 feet, which is a pretty realistic distance for shooting a pistol in certain situations. But yeah, at that point, I want to say that I did like this gun, and I guess it will be once it gets through the ringer and is reliable, it will be a cool gun to have in the collection to hand someone and be like, hey, you just got your first 19 and you shot it and you think you want something different, try this. This is the next level. And not hand them, the DVCP or any other STIs or Staccatos or Atlases, because the reality of comparing this thing to those guns is unrealistic, and people really should stop fucking doing that, because, again, sub $2,000, not $6,000 or $4,000. So that is currently my opinion, as I have about 150, 200 rounds for this gun, and once I get it broken in, I'm sure my opinion will change, and once I have an optic on this thing, it'll change as well. So, fortnoxpodcast.com, Fortnox Podcast, slide in DMs, tell me I'm an asshole.